So the stand, okay, I said why you stand kind of unique because one thing is really well, that's a great. Okay. Now most martial arts, different boxing, the power is so rare. Okay? It's a rare cross, the most powerful punching. Okay. Most kung fu karate, everything from the off from the rear hand here, there's power. You can put the power up front. Put the power up front. That's why the stand is designed for using the power up front. Okay. Now, the reason is saying, oh, you everything you put in the front hand, you punch from front hand and kick the front leg, no power. Okay. But if you add the footwork to it, understand the leverage, okay, understand alignment, okay, you can get a lot of power. Okay. If you look into the formula for power, okay, what I'm not a physicist or whatever. Only take two elements in the formula. It's a what? Mass times speed. Okay? Equal force. Right? What's the mass? It's your body weight. Now you can move your body, you can enhance your force. Right? If you increase the speed, you can also activate the impact. Right? That's why you can move your body the correct way, the right alignment, okay, you can increase your force tremendously, even though you keep with the front hand. Besides, that's why the footwork is so important. The stand is to really work with the footwork. Okay? The stand is to give you the proper alignment. The stand is already aligned before you can throw a punch. All right? So the alignment is important here. Alignment, just reasoning. If you read our newsletter, okay? John Little, he went through Bush's library one evening. He opened a book. He said, pick out one book, nothing particular. We call it concentration book. Okay? How to master your concentration. You just flip over the page. It's one kind of empty page. Okay, only take a few lines on top. A lot of empty space there. So this is Bruce Lee written down in pencil. And he asked himself, question, what is Jeet Kune Do? What is Jeet Kune Do? He go and answer. He go ahead and answers. Footwork, stand, coordination, alignment. That's on the top of the list. Okay? That's a Jeet Kune Do. Really what's in the what's. So that page has been hidden away for so long. For all this year. And all this year of practicing footwork, even in JKD, I said, what's most important? I don't realize that until years later. Footwork is the key. I said right there, 20-some years ago, in the hidden page. But you go back to, I forgot what issue is there. I think it's a second or third issue. And it's the hidden passage. What is Jeet Kune Do? Jeet Kune Do. It's a footwork, stand, alignment, and coordination. The alignment is really give you the power. That's why the stand is important. Once you have proper stand, you put into alignment right away. So when you hit, when you strike, it's right here. Right? So now, this is not a boxing step. Boxing step not sure this way. Okay? This is not even a boxing step. So right here, it's everything lined up, alignment is important. From here, to shoulder back here, to form one solid straight line here. Alright? And here, the back here is supported right here. It's just like you find a rifle here. Okay, you don't find a rifle like this here, right? Do you? You go to the army, you teach you fight right here. A triangle here, right this here. When you hit that, give a proper support. The stem here, when you throw a punch here, give a proper support. Okay? So you reach right here. Okay, I can punch here, right here. Okay? Right here. Alright? So for every action, there's equal opposite reaction, right? You punch, will come back to you, right? That's why the stand is the powerful stand. So you don't really need a lot of power, a lot of energy to get better power. Okay? So that's why another really philosophy you can really spend less and get more. Okay? so I exert less energy and still achieve the maximum power. Okay? If the stance not your right, okay, let's open up a little bit here. Just open a little bit here. And turn a bit here like this here. Okay, like the boxing there, okay? See right here, they're not going to put support, right? So just alter a little bit and make it different, right? So you can really, when you throw a punch here instantly, you get power. You get instant power because they all line up, all right? The stance designed for the purpose. That's why I understand why doing this is important here, right? Now, let me give you the final point punching, right? Never move your feet first, right? That's why the Jiu-Jitsu is so difficult to learn. To me. Jiu-Jitsu front hand lead, possibly the most difficult in JKD. No one else punches like this, not even boxing. Okay? And actually, all this here coming from fencing, idea. That's why Bruce Lee really based on his art later on based on fencing and boxing. Okay? It's a wrestling. The hand have to move first. Okay? The power come off from the footwork. The major power off the footwork. The push off here. When off from the ground, go back to the ground. Okay? Now, if you move the feet first, what happens here? You will land first. Okay? You move the feet first here, you will land first before you punch catch it. Because your power go back to the ground. This is very important procedure here. Because of this, it makes it so difficult.
I've already been introduced, so you know my name, and I'd like to make a correction in my introduction. Good friend here said I am going to teach you something. Wrong. You're going to, hopefully, to teach yourself. That's the basic of efficient use of energy is, well, like Bruce Lee said, that self-education, education makes great men. And I'd like to change that a little bit, and Bruce would agree. Self-education makes great fighters, too. Educating yourself to use your own body in the most efficient, economical, scientific, intelligent way. The intelligent use of the mind and body is what you're after. Not in lack of training, permissiveness, in letting your body express itself, not getting all tangled up in. You can create energy by being mad. What am I doing? I've just destroyed all my energy. I turned it internally on myself. Right now, this big stance like this, muscles are tense. I'm using up energy internally, not expressing it efficiently. And one of the ways for expressing energy, force, power efficiently is to be more fluid. One thing, you need stretching. I'm limited on time. If I can cover everything in just 10 minutes. But stretching and flexibility permits a fuller range of action for a free flowing of energy. And one of the ways for expressing energy is to use your hips and the lower abdomen where as a generating plant for energy. It's concentrated very good, but you have to let it operate. You have to express yourself, and you have to teach your body to do it. You can't just read a book and say, oh, that's the way to run. You have to do physical action to do it. One of the ways of doing that, contrary to what the average boxer might be doing, getting like this, or whatever, way out of form like this, it's a matter of maintaining balance. It's one of the key ingredients. Stand more or less upright in a very calm, easy manner, but alert. mentally alert, and aware of opportunities that present themselves. And how do you get this energy from your hips? Up here, you have to use your leg muscles, big, powerful leg muscles, to help transmit this energy that you've created with your mind and your will. And one of the simple little exercises to do that, to make you loose and limber for just using your elbows like this. Now, it's hard to do on this carpet because you really want to swing your hips like this. Bam, bam, bam. And you have to teach your body to get the feeling of energy flowing here. And so, when you do this exercise, it's good to do it on a hard floor. And don't be afraid to really get with it. Express yourself. If you want to get mad in this, because it's for making your legs loose, getting freedom flowing energy from your hips. Fall down, so what? See, you're learning, you're teaching your body to be able to express itself without being hindered by self-consciousness or what someone might think. Every express is falling down. You're teaching your body how to express itself.
But today's topic is still big words. I finally found out, gee, I can't even review the notes what I would talk about. But boils down really what it is this. Three things: beat, intercept, and a delay. That's still kind of complicated. That's it. Well, that's it, yes. Before and during and after. Does that make sense? So we're talking about punching. Punches involve either counter punching or aggressive, offensive punching. But mostly with the counter punching. So before, during, after. What are you talking about? Oh, it's about timing. So basically what I do is, if you are always fixed to one way, I would say the fixed pattern will never work. Or the reality is going to go outside the pattern. So if you always have one way to hit the guy, you got to keep you out, you got to keep you out. But if you can beat him to punch, intercept the punch, or delay punch, delay is what? Broken rhythm. And then intercept, we have different way of intercept. Intercept, re-intercept. JKD is what? Down, way of an intercepting fist. We have two-way intercept. One is intercepting it, or the other way is dissolving it. So, big thing, just three things: before, during, after. Okay? Okay. The first is the beat. Okay. Now the beat. Okay. Now the beat is beating to the punch. Got to be criteria is what? Speed. Right? You got to beat him to the punch. That's right. Speed is important. So if you got a guy who's a little slower opponent, you can use that technique. Beat him to the punch. And the speed, what is the requirement for the speed? First of all, body must be relaxed. Okay, number two, the eyes must be quick to see what's happening. And number three, economy of motion. Okay, first, relax the body. I saw somebody practice. Relax the body. I saw somebody practice guys. Well, you're all tensed up. You can't go fast, right? Have you tried to punch real, draw attention? And you find out. I want you to compare. Fist is tense, the body is tense versus not. Eye is important, quick versus eyes. And we are not kind of like, I want to develop technique. And technique I learned from Bruce, how we develop our awareness, speed up our observation. And then economy motion. And then economy motion. In this case, is an economy motion in straight line. Fist to target. JK does not always favor straight line. Tomorrow that was circular. But today we're talking straight line. Second part is the intercept. Intercept is at the same time. Same time. Way of intercepting fist. This is kind of our theme, intercept. It deals with a faster opponent. You can do it fast. But you don't have to beat him to the punch. He's on his way over, he's on his way over, you can still intercept him. And your posture must be, again, relaxed, elbows down. Not typically in church, the elbows down. Don't go like boxing. Elbows down. And the minute goes wide. Protect your center line. Okay? Lock into your target. Face, whatever, head. Lock onto it. The body relax, very important. So when the punch comes, what you do? vertical punch, straight economy motion, right? But with authority. I don't know if you ever see Bruce Lee's films or when you ever see Bruce Lee's films or when he fights, you see his eyes? Hey, I dominate the line. I win. That's the position, okay? And so what happened? Here goes. Sir, can I help you? Okay. You find that position. It comes to the fist. Fist comes to me. By the way, this is okay. My practice, sorry, what's a relax? When I leave, goes all there. But grabbing, shaping. So this is people when I practice, this is the position I have. So now what happened is when you come to me, if it come to me, what I did is, now see what happened, go slowly, okay? I've already got pointing center line already. So okay, it comes to me, what happened? I control the center line. What happened to this fist? Deflected. This was very astonishing to us. Is when people ask, what's your system? In our system, we don't block. What? When I came from what? When I came from temple. This is my block. Upper block, lower block, inward block. No block, how do you fight? Well, that's what is receptive. Right here, boom. Like he came halfway over. I still came. You see, the important part is which my body position, leave with this for safety reason. I don't want to stay in there and just depend on this. My body can go slide to side, boom. But see what happened to me? I'm really locked up. One more thing, this hand. This hand, for Wu Sao in the Wing Chun, is a soft hand. Very soft hand. Soft hand. Very soft hand. That is secondary defense, just in case. No, don't want to be. Well, that's why I don't like to practice this with here. But this is not using anything here. Boxing knows what right? Okay, so what you do right now, see, I can do upright. Come here. He's tall. So he's taller than I am. Okay? Some people are underneath, same way. And you will feel like a hand is boom, bounced off. Bounced off. Now that's really. Okay, try slowly. I want you to practice slowly. Slowly. I want you to practice slowly. Accuracy. Slow first. Before speed, power happens. The third one is what? Delay. Delay punch. Now the way the delay punch is not only unique to martial art. I saw basketball, football. You know, it's like basketball. The guy going to basketball right under the basket, he starts shooting. You know, he's already long jump. You know, that everybody block, he can do it. And then everybody comes down, he takes his time. Takes his time. That's broken rhythm. You see, but you got to make the guy believe. Or say better because you make different things, don't you? You know? Take your time, not right? That's important. So now, the broken rhythm involves, the broken rhythm can be offensive or defensive. Or punches, okay? But all we get is just the add a little pause in between. Now, Bruce was cha-cha-cha. He kept rope punching and shadow boxing with the musical beat. It's good. You know what happened? Because between beats, if I have develop that kind of thing. Because the rhythm, you try to catch the guy's cadence with his rhythm, and you go in between. That's really important. To find out what his rhythm first. When you set a rhythm and then you change the rhythm, it's very important. And it's real. When I see basketball or something, it's a pretty exciting to see the guy score. He goes all the phone now on his way up with nothing, and he just takes his time. That's a broken experience. It's like an art. Appreciate God. That's a beautiful thing. Now, the important part is, if I do offense, here's what I'll do. Offense. I'll set the rhythm first. Easy. Okay? So let's see if I'll do offensive motion. Okay. I want you to be in a position here, and when I'm coming at you, I'm just going to block you. One. See, I want to hit so realistic, make him respect. God, that's what he's. In fact, when I'm boxing, if I get a gunshot, he said, here comes the little so I go here, let's see, go, boom, boom, boom. See what happened? So, you see, a lot of fight. It's going to happen. You made everything you made. What happened? He was got set up. Huh? And then what happened? You looks like a dude, but you know what happened to you? Relax. If you go like this, well, you still slow, you still 2 beats. You'll be relaxed. Every intent of the motion, and you point carefully. You see coming down. It's funny. You hit him, and this guy said, poo. His momentum is all set up. But you don't just always develop. You got to keep your eyes open because when he's open, everybody blocks differently. Right? Right? And it's beautiful about it. It's a half a beat slower. Right? It's not like this. Boom. Boom, boom. Yeah, that's it. One be fast. One be slow. It's good for us because we know it's our fast. And plus, lots of time. Come to me, and I go 100 punch. Okay. Right? Thank you. It's just this guy take a counter punch, right? What happens to me is this, right? Yeah. Bang, bang. Set up for the. But make sure he believes it. You got if he just go like this. What? The guy said, oh, he just fake. You want to be sure, get it right. Respect the reality of punches come right away. So you blocking, hit. Now, and is this hit? Not a real hit. Watch it go, broken rhythm. It's a broken rhythm that you have a lot of creativity. But you remember, relax the body, watch the opening, good footwork, body moving, all that, and then experiment how you can get into it.
This is the 5 ways of attack, and what we want to do is we want to go through really quickly the 5 ways of attack with some of the variations, all right? Then we're going to go back and go into some detail on some of the points of it. You might have a little more detail on the progressive indirect attack or whatever. So we're going to take all 5 ways of attack off the same basic beginning, which is going to be a low punch, a low horizontal punch. See, Barry? So he's going to be here, and if you notice where his fist is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter and hit right here. So the danger, I don't want to go this way. So what I want you to do is to have a partner, have his hand out like this, and I want you to just parry and come right over here. That's the first move I want you to do, is to back out. Now that is a single direct attack. Single direct attack means just simply that. From wherever the hand is or the foot is, it goes directly to the target. So single direct attack. Now everybody knows that, that's real easy, so I'm going to tear off and just do it 5 times. An indirect attack is when from here, I might set up a single direct attack first, boom, and he's going to react to that. So I set that up. Second time, I go, boom. Now what that was a indirect attack followed by a single direct attack. Okay? Because I pulled it back and went here. If I didn't pull it back, that would be something we're going to work on later. So right now I go here, fake it, and then go there. That's an indirect attack followed by a single direct attack. It's still a one way of attack, single direct attack. Can we try that? Okay. Now, we're going to go attack by combination, which is the next one. And what we're going to do with that is just take a very simple one. That can go hand, foot, hand. You know, you can run that whole list if you want. We're going to just take a simple slide as simply as you can to understand what we're going to get to is probably hand. What we're going to go is spend a lot of time towards the end on hand, foot, hand in progressive indirect attack. But I just want you to understand the principle. I want you to understand the principle behind attack by combination and attack by combination with broken rhythm. Once you have 3 movements, you can have broken rhythm. So we're going to take it simply, and I don't even care if you don't know how to do it. It doesn't matter. You can learn how to do it later. I'm talking about a jab, cross, and a hook. Some people know it. Most of you probably already know it. But from here, same thing. Low jab, high cross, high hook. You see how Dennis rolls with it? Low jab, high cross, high hook. That's all I want you to do. The same entry we did before, low jab. Now that's a steady rhythm. Pop, pop, pop. Can we do that just 5 times on each side? Then we're going to play with the rhythm on it.
Progressive indirect attack. One thing I teach is non-telegraphic motion, absolute non-telegraphic motion. I want you to telegraph it, okay? I want you to let the guy know what's happening. We tend to do this when a person is a little too fast and I can't just get right in. So like I'm here, just walk as fast as you can, So I tried to get in and I can't. I think, gee, this is bad. Boom, he does that. So I go, ooh, good, ooh. So what I did is I told him I was going to do this again. To do this, it's hitting down. Here I'm going. I didn't hit. He doesn't know that. I'm not going. See where my hand is? It isn't there yet. It's in a direct line to this target. So what I'm not doing is going fake, fake. You can get away with fake, fake. Unless the guy's real attack. Block guy's real attack. Block both of them. Okay? I'm going to go faster. Block both of them. Good. Again. See the difference? Okay, so we're out here. What I want is a low fake with the whole body. But the hand does not go here where it has to pull back.
Never pulls back. It's progressive.
Okay.
It continues towards the target.
It's going towards here, towards. Okay? Most of the action is feel what it feels to do this, feels to do this, see what it feels body-wise. Do the same thing, but don't throw the hand all the way out. Got it?
Your partner's going to do a front hand answer.
Right. This. I know some of you people want to block with the rear hand. We'll do that in just a minute. Okay? This is for a person that does front hand.
It's the exact same thing we do. Now we're going HIA, hand immobilization attack, but it's the same two things. Front hand answer, rear hand answer. Grab one of the guys. Pigeon.
Grab the one that's moving the slowest. We've been working on this initial attack. So we get this. There are reasons for doing one or the other. I'm not going to go through all the reasons you might want to do one or the other, but I'll give you the same combination. We've talked about this. We've talked about this hand. We've talked about using indirect against both of them. Now we're going to do the same thing on trapping. So what I'm going to do is here, back. Okay? This is here, back. I'm trapping this hand. This hand. So it's the same thing we did. We did low, high, but now I'm adding a trap here. You guys have done some of this trapping yesterday, so I'm going to go on. I'm going to do this kind of fast, so you pick it right up. So from here, low, high, and lost out. Okay? 1, 2, and lost out. Got it?
Yes.
1, 2, lost out. One of the reasons I don't like attack by drawing, I'll tell you right now, is because if I'm using attack by drawing, it's because the guy's really good. Good. And that means there's a good chance he's going to hit me, and I have to use attack by drawing. Attack by drawing, the way I see it, means leaving an opening that they can hit. They're so good. Like if he's good at jabbing with this, just jab fast. Right. So he's good at that. I can't get past it. I can't get down here. I can't do anything. Every time I get close, boom. And yet he's not going to jab if I'm out here because I'm too far away. So he's very, very good. So how do you handle that? Every time I move, he's just going to jab. Just going to jab. So I'll fake here. Boom. You know, I'll throw a fake here. Boom. I'll go here and fake. I'll go down and fake. I can't get through. So now I'm going to draw. This is dangerous because the guy is very good, but it's one of the only ways you can get in on a person that is that good. So I don't want you to, here, I want you to hit my head. Okay, don't hit until I'm close enough. And I don't want you guys to be hitting each other, but I want to show you. So I'm here, and I'm doing this, and nothing happens. Ooh, no, go ahead and hit me. Go, hit me. Go, hit me. Okay, now he's going to hit me. Okay? This is the kind of thing we're doing. So I'm out here. Boom. Okay? I'm doing the same low line attack, but now he's trying to hit me. So what I'm doing is out here, he can't hit. Now he can. I'm moving aside and hitting. Okay? Hit, whatever. Going to the
subtle hierarchy.
But the important thing is this drawing. If someone wants to hit you, and they're good at that, and they let you know by trying to hit you with it, then I go in and I say, you can't do it, you can't do it. Now you can do it. And I slide. Okay? It's very difficult. If you're out here and you're afraid to get hit, you're going to wonder why they're not doing it. It's because they're too good. And you go, okay. You have to go in there. This is very difficult to do. It's difficult to get yourself to do. But once you have it, it's a valuable tool. So what I want you guys to do is go kind of slow. Don't do this unless you're close enough to do it, and go about half speed. So you're here, and I go, and then just come aside. Got it? Come aside, you're still doing a low line hit. Questions?
Now it's my turn. what I'd like to show you now is what they call a drop shift. I don't know whether you're familiar with this or not. When you were watching Dan do the parries, when the punch comes, you want to get it outside your face. You don't want to take it in the face. If you do this, you got a problem. And if you do this, you got a problem. So what you want to do is, when this comes by, you want to move into here, okay? Now, if you'll notice, I'm off on this outside angle where he's in trouble, okay? Now, what I'd like to do first is just pat this parry, okay? And step to here. If he turns, you don't have any center. One more time. I parry this and I step. If he moves away from me, I've got his center. Let's just do that one first. There's a thing called a shovel punch, and it is an honest punch. It's not an uppercut, it's not anything else, it's a real punch. So when this thing comes, if I get to here, that's the shovel. And it comes off the hip. Earlier was talking about the turning. When the punch comes, I get to here, boom, that's the shovel. And I try to take this out. Once this goes down, then I can play with anything I want. But before we do that, what I want you to do is to parry this and tap this shoulder here with this hand. Okay?
What I'm going to go through with you today is a training method that he gave me, that Bruce showed him on how to develop it. We're talking about a sense of penetration in a punch or a kick. We're going to do a side kick, but it can be done with anything: back fist, punching, kicking. The point is to understand this method, because nobody can teach you the perfect distance of penetration or explosiveness for yourself. You have to find it. So I went to him, and I said to him, how did he do this? He said, I'll show you an exercise. Now, I don't have a board here which you can draw on, so I'm going to use these two lines. What he did was he drew two vertical lines, here and here. And he drew a horizontal line across here. So you have like a big flat H, if you will. All right? And he said, first thing we're going to do, we're going to work second. How many people here have focus gloves? All right. If you have a set of focus gloves, you only need one, so lend some to somebody else. If you don't, you can do this with your hand, because you don't have to kick hard. So we got this diagram. He says, okay, he says, we're going to work on part A, the letting out of the water. Again, you guys are familiar with the water hose and the whip principle, correct? All right. So it says, we're going to work part A. This is push. Not so much push, but the letting out of the water. So you hold the side kick position, and you work the side kick. It is a part of the motion. It's a part of the motion. So you are not concerned with how good you look, with your hand positions, where you finish up, etc. What you are working on in this particular motion is your bijong position, boom, letting the water out, pop, like a hose coming out of your foot, right? Almost like when you hit this thing, trying to throw your shoe off the end of your foot. No wind-ups like this, just basic bijong position. You don't even have to go hard. You don't even have to go hard. But boom, right, to that extreme. So I want you to get with a partner. Now you go to the other extreme, the whip. But don't hit the glove or hit it very light. Here, boom, to the other extreme. Bah, right? Now it's not this. You're not going like, and not kicking. You're kicking. But the emphasis is on the other side, the retraction behind it. All right? Okay, go. If you look at this graph, you've got the opposite end of the spectrum. You've got the letting out the water, the push. You've got the retraction. Now, alternate it. Alternate it. So just relax, right? Push. Then go back and retract it. Alternate, back and forth, just for a minute or so. Okay? You've got the push, the letting out the water. You've got the retraction. You've got the whip, the opposite extreme, correct? Now, go right in between those extremes. So now you are getting the letting out of the water, the explosiveness going through, and the retraction. So you've gone to these, and that's why I said you have to do this exercise, alternate what it feels like for the difference. And now what you're looking for is right between these two extremes. And that gives you the sense of explosiveness. All right? Okay, try it. If you start to lose it, go back and do the extremes, then look for the midpoint.
Well, I want to just say welcome to all you folks, and I can see that most of you people are experienced martial artists, so I need to have you empty your cup. Try to imagine yourself coming into one of Bruce Lee's first classes. I wore this jacket. This used to belong to Bruce Lee, and he gave it to me when he left. He said, when you teach a class, he said, I want you to wear this. It's almost worn out, but I feel kind of embarrassed and afraid that he might come back and beat the hell out of me. Anyhow, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the root of things that Bruce started out with. And I think there's a great significance in that root, in that there's a lot of valuable things there that we want to show you guys or to share with you guys, so that I think there might be some little thing that you can pick out of this session that might make you say, oh my God, I didn't realize that, and just make you a head taller. So bear with us, and as I say, empty your cup, and let's have some fun doing these things, okay? The Baichang or the ready stance is going to demonstrate now. In this particular defense structure, you're 80% of the weight is on the back foot, 20% of the front, so that if you do try to make a move like that, he can pick it up and counter on you. And the toe is tucked in a little bit to protect your groin. The elbow is just about 5 inches from the body, again tucked in within the shoulder. The fingertips just below eye level, and this balancing hand is just below just at the elbow point, okay? And even in movement, the balance is always in the back foot at this stage. You don't go like this, like you would walk, it's just move. Okay? So we're gonna do that. So let's everybody get into that stance there now. Remember now, keep your groin protected. At this point of the learning curve, it's very important that you have just 20% of the weight sort of on the ball of your feet in the front, the elbow tucked in, just below the eye level with your fingertips. Okay, and then from there, we're going to also emphasize that the elbow does not move. If somebody pushes you, you don't let the elbow collapse like that, because the minute that you let the elbow collapse, you're into his defense structure. He's already weakened himself. I can push him all around the room, and as long as the elbow doesn't give, I haven't penetrated his defense mechanism at all. And if I pull him, he doesn't let his hand outstretched to get off balance. He comes with me. He either comes in with his shoulder or something else, so that he doesn't lose the advantage. Okay. So right now, let's get a. We're gonna do some movement now. So if we move again. And if you move forward, for instance, again, notice it's on the back foot, the balance is there. If you move back, the same thing. It's on the back foot, Okay, now, in order to demonstrate if you keep the groin protected, if he should move to his left, the front foot moves first so they keep the elbow, the groin protected. Again. Now, if he moves to the right, the back foot moves first because the groin is protected. And at this stage in life, they emphasize that, because you guys at your stage are not doing that. It's awkward. But the point is, it brings you focus if you keep these areas protected, you know. Excuse me, the finger jab first, okay? We're going to go, when we do it, we're going to exaggerate by going under the elbow, and the same plane is not going up and down, just below eye level. And the reason that we're going under the elbow is two things. Because if he grabs you like that, if you just try to release it by just grabbing, sometimes you can't do it, but if you do that and the same thing like that, you'll be able to get to the roof. And at the same time, the principle of just staying in the center line if you do it that way. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some offensive techniques. The Pak Sao, the Lap Sao, the Chop Suey Guacha, okay? First of all, we're going to demonstrate without any any retaliation from the opponent. So, first of all, the cock style, which is a slapping hand technique. Notice when he moves, the hand moves a split second before the body does. So the definite telegraph. Okay. Okay, now supposing he should block, then he's going to lop style and then come in with the back fist. Okay. Notice he has a knee block from the opponent, so the opponent can't. If he comes in and he's way out here, all you have to do is kick him in the groin, you know. But with a block, you can't do it. Okay. And notice he's got the balance in his back foot, so that if he comes in with the weight on that front foot, all Andy has to do is just push people. See what I mean? And that's why you got to be careful. Once you get into to the higher experience, you can get away with things like that. But there's always guys who are fast. The minute that you commit yourself by going in like this, he can pick you up in a minute. So you got to be very careful. Right at this stage, we're emphasizing that you move with this foot and this balance with the back foot and having trapped there, so that if he tries to foot sweep you up. I'm going to pick him up because I can lose him in a minute like that. If your weight is on that front foot, I mean, you try to do that, he's going to get me, see? So that's why we emphasize that. Okay, so let's get that now. See, what did we do? Now, okay, now the next one is the lop style, which is a pulling hand technique. Again, you're pulling him into you, punching at the same time. And I want to emphasize the balance should be on that back foot when you do that, so that you're not off balance. Now, if he should block, again, it's a lop style punch. Okay. Okay. The next thing is the chop choy washa, which is the knuckle fist down low. Okay. Okay. Now this time, if he should block, again he's moving in. Okay, so let's work on that then.
How many here can do a little cheese out? You know, I see you guys already. Well, Bruce used to say, don't take your workout seriously. Turn it into play, but then play seriously. So when I think of those words, this comes right to me, to my mind, because to me it is a little fun game. Two things are benefited by this, and then one of them is when there's nothing in the way you hit, and you're swinging from where you're at without any preparation, without no drawback or whatever. So what we'll try to do is get everybody doing a little roll, just a little forward edge, and once we got this, we'll stick one side on the other. One side will hit, and the other side will stifle. I like to say stifle, but we're really not blocking it. We're already here. So if the punch comes, it's a stifle. So let's try that. Let's get a roll going and see how we do.
So what we want to do here is examine some of the grappling moves that Bruce not only studied or read about. Some are going to be a little bit theatrical because they were in film, but you'll be able to, the important thing to observe here is his body positioning, leverage, and what he is looking to accomplish with this. So, for example, his first sequence, you may recall, was from his film The Way of the Dragon. It was the finishing move he put on Chuck Norris, which was a standing neck punch. And what I'd like to do is just have you take a look at this clip. We'll run it at normal speed, and we'll run it at about 3 or 4 frames per second, so you can actually see the application. The thing I'd ask you to look for is the body mechanics of it, the leverage that he applied. And other people who are familiar with the grappling arts will recognize this instantly. But those who are a little less familiar will just really pay attention to his body movements and where the hand positions are. And we're going to try and run through about 4 or 5 of these techniques that did appear in this film, just so you can see Bruce's acknowledgement. And then we will have Richard Richard will explain some of the counters and the technical aspects of it.
So you show the left first, we have 1, 2, and this hand came back, he went back this way like this, right? To do a proper neck, that's what he did, a neck crank. This hand's on this side here. Hand on this karate, you grab your hand this way, or you can put your hand here. If you don't have strength, go this way. It's never like this. You can do this, but this is 1 grip. This is 2 grip. When you go here, I turn sideways, like this. Weight goes down, I put the neck up, the head stays still. Now when you do this, be very careful because you can hurt someone by just doing the application. Okay. Bruce was a fanatic on training. Technique is easy. There's a saying, a will to win is not as important as the will to train to win. Makes sense, right? People all want to win, they want to train. You're never going to win. And his training, this is his neck crank device. It's a dummy, the original one. And Mr. Belucci will show you how he cranks this. You can pump it 10 times, and then you hold it, static training. And so if he gets you in that position, it's over. But he trains stuff like this. All that iron dummy, Greg on these dad, James Reed did. You see that iron dummy he got? He kicked that stuff all the time. Get resistance. Throw his hip into it, throw his hip into it. The fat bag here, they kick the thing that thing moves. We cannot do it, because we don't train like that.
Okay. Richard will...
In that scene, if Bruce Lee was in real combat, and he hit him, ding, he would just whack it 1 time and it's over. Okay. Now for the show, he did this, he caught the elbow, if you kiss the elbow, or if you kiss the back of the jacket, in the movie he cut the jacket. You got to hold this side, because if you hold it, you escape by pulling the elbow back. Okay. So when you hold this, you went over 3 times. All in the body. Okay. Now, when you get 1 leg, you got this other leg here, this is the 3rd leg. When you take with the 3rd leg, you got to go. This is a push and pull effect. Okay? So I want you to do this. This is supposed to go to 1, okay? 2, and then this osotogari is a wide sweep. Okay, just like coming up and just touching your toe on the ground. Hit right about the ankle or the calf. If you go up to the knee, you got to kick up this way. Okay? So 3 moves. 1, 2, 3. Okay? All right, try that slow, but don't fall like that.
Well, back in the day, this was the early 60s or middle of 60s. When I first met Bruce, well, it's kind of a long story, but I got him down to Oakland to start school. And back in those days, he was 135, 38 pounds. As a matter of fact, all the pictures we took in those days, I was bigger than he was. So he started asking questions about him. First of all, why he knew that I could make stuff is when we started school, he had a paper shoebox where his receipt and his petty cash. So I said, this won't do it. So I went to work, made him an aluminum box, 2 covers, 1 for petty cash and 1 for his receipt. Then he got some bright ideas. He said, you make this kind of stuff? I said, yeah. On the side, I do these things. And from then on, he started asking to make training equipment. How to toughen his fingers, his grip, his forearms, stuff like that. Then he's a good sketcher. He sketched a lot. So from that day on, he'd be the creator and I was the builder. So he wanted me to make gripping machines. Richard had one out there. That one there for his forearm. Then all these punching bags for his knuckles. The first one I made it was one about 4 inches square canvas filled with buckshot. And everywhere he go, he would take it with him. Even when we go out to eat, he would put on the floor and keep punching it until he developed ugly knuckles. And also, like his washboard stomach. He didn't have much of a stomach then. Like I said, he's very dedicated to his body. So he do a lot of sit-up, leg raises. And to give him 6 weeks time, he got a washboard body. Hard to believe. And like I said, he don't go on a diet. He eats everything. And like his favorite food was oyster sauce and rice and a bottle of Coke.
Thank you very much, and welcome all of you to the second annual memorial dinner in honor of my husband Bruce and my son Brandon. I appreciate so much that you are all here to honor their memories and bring them to life through your work and your contribution. We are here. This year is an auspicious year. We are here to make note of the 25th anniversary of Bruce's passing on July 20th, 1973, and the 5th year since Brandon has left us. And we are here to honor them, to remember them, to bring them to life through our memories, and chiefly though, to celebrate their lives and to talk among each other about what they stood for, what they contributed, how they made an impact on each and every one of your lives, which I know they did because you have told me that. Many of you knew Bruce and shared moments with him. Many of you knew Brandon and shared moments with him, which I would like you all to mix with each other and talk about these two wonderful men that we remember here today. There is no doubt in my mind that Bruce and Brandon are here with us tonight. I know that they dwell in your hearts and your minds, and that you give their spirits life. So I would like, before we begin our banquet tonight, if we could just have a moment of silence to remember why we are all here, for all of our hearts to swell with the memories of Bruce and Brandon, and our minds to be filled with thoughts of their art and philosophy and their contribution, and how it has changed your life and made you better people. So if we could just observe a moment of silence, then we will have dinner, and then we have many guests to introduce to you, and if there are pauses within the dinner, we may take that time to introduce some guests, and we will have some other guests who will speak to you after dinner. So please, let's remember why we are here, and just take a moment to think about Bruce and Brandon, and let them come into your hearts and your minds and be present with us tonight. As Bruce would say, let's sigfana. That means eat dinner and enjoy. I'd like to also thank and recognize a very young man who is with us tonight with his family. His parents are students now with Tommy Gong in Northern California. And they wrote to me some months ago and told me about a project for his class at school. And I hope I get this right, but the subject was supposed to be a person in history, a historical figure who has made an impact and changed lives in some way. And Christopher wanted to do his project about Bruce Lee, and he was discouraged from doing that and asked to choose someone more historical, like George Washington or somebody like that. And Christopher, to his credit, along with his parents' support, made a point to the school and the school district that Bruce Lee had changed lives and that he had crossed cultural barriers. And they accepted his project. It eventually went to the state level, I believe perhaps a national level of competition as a historical project, and he won. So.
My project that I did for the 6th grade history day is back there in the corner if anybody wants to take a look at it. And I'd like to thank some people, my parents, who stuck with me throughout the whole project. And that's about it.
For the first time, there was a man that stole the hearts of America that was an Asian. For me, that was important. He had these precision kicks that went from the ground to the person's head before the guy could blink twice. He had such accuracy that it looked like the person was getting kicked, never touched it. He had the ability to be precise, scientifically precise. Up until then, kicks were supposed to be bad. It was tantamount to a dirty trick. It was always thought of in relationship to kicking somebody while they were on the ground. Here now, it was an art form. Everybody was saying, who is this guy? Who is this guy? They never knew. During the time that the Green Hornet series was on, no one really knew, but everybody was asking. Hollywood was asking too. But Hollywood is a trendsetter, and sometimes they go along with trends. Hollywood has to make money. And Hollywood has to be very careful of how they spend their money to make their money. And so they weren't ready to take the big leap, the leap of faith, and put into the hands of Bruce some of the big movies that he may have made. You had no hero if you were Asian until Bruce came along. For the first time, there was somebody that didn't have a cue back there, check there, chasing someone around that was mad, that had a cleaver in his hand, chasing after somebody. No, it was not that kind of a scene. And I don't think that Bruce would have represented that type of a person. Bruce was an artist, and Bruce demonstrated that in the movies. And I felt very, very relieved that he was there. He was, in a sense, my hero for the other kids that had to grow up and that now had a hero, just like the young man had made a report. And I hope that all of you go back there and see that report, because it kind of shows that sometimes in America that we get put aside. I don't mean to sound like kind of I guess it's sort of a reverse racist type of situation. I'm not sure, but I don't mean to sound like that, but because I feel very American. I guess probably the best time that I ever had being an American was when I was able to stand on the victory stand and I heard the Star Spangled Banner play, and it just made the hair on the back of my head kind of stand up. Thank you very much. Bruce had a great influence on me. After I met Bruce, changed my thinking, changed my whole life. And I think that was true for all the people that I met through Bruce. I was talking to one of Richard's students, and he said an interesting thing, that he liked the fact that many people were here sharing their different information they had from Bruce. But he said even more than that, he liked the fact that there were so many people here from so many different ethnic groups. And that was one of the things that I noticed when I first met Bruce. First students, there were Japanese students, Chinese students, Filipino students, black students, white students, Hispanic students, and it always reminded me of the United Nations. And this kind of reminds me of the same thing. It's interesting that so many people can sit down and share information with each other. So I'm happy to be here, and happy to see that everybody's happy to be here also. And I hope it continues. I guess that's about all I have to say.
Hello, everybody. I apologize for my new sexy voice that I have here. But I just want to say hi, I'm Shannon. It is my just unbelievably overwhelming pleasure to be here with all of you tonight. I just get such a wonderful feeling from everybody in the room and such a positiveness. It has been my honor to be a part of this group and a part of this movement, and I hope to be for as long as it goes on. And among the nucleus members, I have some teachers here as well. Richard Basillo was my teacher at one point in my life, and Mr. Ted Wong is my teacher in Jeet Kune Do as well. But I have one more teacher here, and it is my honor to introduce him to you tonight. Although he doesn't really need any introduction, I'm sure everybody knows him, the amazing competitor, champion, and warrior that he is. Aside from the fact that he's my teacher, I am honored to call him my friend and my co-star in our upcoming film. He is an amazing person, an amazing fighter, and I'm sure all of you know him. His reputation precedes him. And with no further ado, Benny the Jet Euclides.
It's an honor to be here at this memorial banquet. I thank Linda and Shannon and the rest of the staff. You did a marvelous job. And for myself, you know, I've had a chance to really, it's a great honor to be under the same roof with such great warriors and legends here. I'm really honored to be here. And I had a chance to see in many different decades of warriors. And in the 60s is my favorite because I had a chance to see legends and warriors that came up. And there's a lot of us, and there's not there's not a lot of us that really get together all the time, but when we do, all we have is our memories. And that's one thing that I can say in the 60s that I've had is nothing but great memories in my heart and my mind for Bruce, because at that time I didn't know him as Bruce Lee. I knew him as Kato. And I knew at the time when I saw him, I had no idea who he was, but he was a giant to me. And I used to ask my brother, how does he do those punches? And how does he do those kicks? In the film industry, we usually use a cable to jerk us back that far. But I knew there was no cables there. All I knew is these guys went flying, and I was so amazed. And so when the series came out, The Green Hornet, all I knew is every time I seen him, I mimicked everything I could, and I would go and try it. And they said, "Where'd you learn that?" I said, "Oh, from Kato." And they said, "Who?" I said, "From Kato." I learned it from him. It was a way that I had a chance to really not get to know, because I had a chance just to listen and watch him. I never got a chance to train with him, but I watched him and I listened very carefully to when he talked, how he talked, and it was like a magnet. It just drew you to him. And so from that point, I realized that this man was ahead of his time, because he did things I've never seen or heard from anybody else. And he was just ahead of his time. So when I started actually after the 60s, the 70s came, and in 73, a new decade of fighters came out, and that's when the sport of kickboxing came. But at the same time, I was using the same type of training back in the 60s, because I knew basic look fancy. And for what he was saying, it really stuck to me. That the smallest things, the 4-inch hit, the kicks that he was using, I had no idea. All I used to ask my brother, how does he do it? And he said, just watch. And I still watch, and I still, to this day, all these years, I'm still trying to mimic what I seen back then. I seen back then because those were the years that really laid the foundation for me as a warrior, as a fighter.
I had the great fortune to be the corporate archivist for Warner Brothers, and I'm in charge of the Warner Brothers Museum. And we have an exhibit on now that's the first 50 years, and it ends in 1969. When I first started working on the exhibit with everybody at Warner Brothers, I was hired out of USC. I was in charge of the archives at USC, and that's all the paper documents from 1915 up to 1968 when the studio was sold. So it's letters from Bogart, letters from Betty Davis, and incredible stuff. It was an incredible job. And the studio asked me to come out and help save the history of the studio, what was still there. And so when we were working on the museum, I was also told that there was going to be a museum, and I thought, yeah, maybe. And so the second that the museum became a project, which was about 2.5 years ago, I said, well, we got to have Bruce Lee. There's only one Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's got to be in the museum. And the reason I said that was because we had been in a building where all of the files were, and they were moving the building, and my job is to say to everybody, if you're going to throw anything away, I'd really like to see it before you do that. And there was a whole row of file cabinets, and it turned out that it was the files for Ted Ashley, who took over in 1969 from the previous managers of the studio. And I opened a drawer and I saw Bullet, and opened another drawer and I saw Enter the Dragon. I said, we're saving this whole wall. We're just saving the whole wall. And we went in, a team of us, and all of a sudden I heard a cry from off over in the corner, and somebody said, there are Bruce Lee letters in here. And I said, really? And so I went to look, and there were Bruce Lee letters in there. And when I read them, I thought, people have to see these. I mean, these have to be seen. And because the exhibit changed from what it originally was, in the museum now, the cutoff date is 1969. As of April the 1st, we're hoping to have the 75th anniversary exhibit up, and Bruce Lee will be there, and his letters will be there. And people will see and understand. And that's another thing. The books that you guys are doing are just great. You know, it's just really great. So what happened was, we were working on the first exhibit, and I brought the Bruce Lee letters out, and my boss says, well, Bruce Lee has a very feminine hand.